Welcome to my channel Crazy to Learn. Today we will discuss the remaining math questions from High School Contractual Teacher Recruitment Exam 6th March second shift. This is the second part of this series. If you till now did not watch its first part, the link given in my description, you can watch there. Okay, so let's start today's class with our first question. The maximum or minimum value of fx is equal to 2x square plus x minus 3 is. So whether you will get maximum or a minimum value for a quadratic equation. The equation is given, the function is given to you is a quadratic function. Okay, so whether you will get a maximum value or minimum value, it depends upon the coefficient of x square. What is the general form of the quadratic equation? We know the general form of the quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. If the quadratic equation is given to you like this and the coefficient of x square, which is a, if a is a positive one, then at that case we will get a minimum value of the quadratic equation. Clear? We will get a minimum value. If the a is a negative one, at that case we will get a maximum value. Okay, if the a is a positive one, then we will get a minimum value. If the a is a negative one, then we will get a maximum value. So if we will go to the given question, the coefficient of x square is 2, the a value is 2 here, a is equal to 2. So in this case we will get a minimum value. We will get a minimum value. And it is asked to you the maximum or minimum value of this function. So here we will get a minimum value. When we will get a maximum value? If the value of a is a negative one, then at that case we will get a maximum value. All you are clear? Now we will come to our question. What is that value? Whether it is maximum or minimum. What is the value? To find the maximum or minimum value of a quadratic equation, the formula is c minus b square by 4a. If the a is positive, then it is the minimum value. If a is the negative, then it is the maximum value. For maximum value, for minimum value, the same formula you have to use. Okay, so for the given quadratic equation, 2x square plus x minus 3, a is equal to 2, b is equal to 1 and c is equal to minus 3. Okay, so put the value in the given formula to find the minimum value. Here we will get a, as the a is positive here, we will get a minimum value. So minimum value of the quadratic equation is equal to c minus b square by 4a. So put the value. What is the value of c? C is minus 3. Okay, minus, what is the value of b? 1. Then b square is also equal to 1 divided by 4a. 4a, the value of a is 2, so 4 into 2. So what is the value you will get? Minus 3 minus 1 by 8. Here it dot is given, it means product. Not, don't think that it is 4.2, it is a product. Okay, 4 into 2. Okay, so then take the LCM. 8 into 3 minus 24 minus 1, so which is minus 25 by 8. Okay, so which is the correct answer? Option A is the correct one. The minimum value of the quadratic function fx is equal to 2x square plus x minus 3 is minus 25 by 8. Okay, the same formula c minus b square by 4a will be the maximum value if the a is a negative one. If a is a negative one, then if in the place of a, in the place of 2, if minus 2 is given to you, then at that case we will get a maximum value for the quadratic equation. All you are clear? Okay, so in the question it is given to you maximum or minimum value. Okay, you will think whether it is the maximum value, whether it is the minimum value. If the a is a negative one, then it is a maximum value. If a is a positive one, then it is a minimum value. As in the given question a is 2, a positive number, so here we will get a minimum value. Another thing I am added here, if the quadratic equation is given to you in the form of a into x minus h square plus k, remember this thing, it is the important thing. If the quadratic equation is given to you in a general form, it is the general form. Okay, general form. If the quadratic equation is given to you in this form, a into x minus h square plus k, if the quadratic equation is given to you in this form, okay, and it is asked to you to find out the maximum value or minimum value, then the answer is max or minimum value. Minimum value is equal to k. Direct, without any calculation, without any analysis, we can directly write the answer. It is k. Okay, maximum value or minimum value. It is the maximum value and it is the same the minimum value. Whether it is the maximum or minimum, it depends upon the, similar as in before question, it depends upon the value of a. If a is a positive one, then it is the minimum value. If a is the negative one, then it is the maximum value. Same rule also follows here. Same rule also follows here. If the quadratic equation is given to you in the form like a into x minus h square, okay, quadratic equation in form of a into x minus h whole square, okay, a into x minus h whole square plus k. If the quadratic equation is given to you in this form, then maximum value or minimum value is equal to k. Okay, if the a is a positive one, then the maximum value is k. If the a is a positive, at that case we will get a minimum value. So if a is positive, then the minimum value is k, and if a is a negative, then the maximum value is k. All you are clear? All you are clear about? If the general form is given to you, you have to use this formula. If the quadratic equation is given to you in this form, then without any calculation, we will direct put the maximum value or minimum value is equal to k. Clear? Now we will go for the next question. Our next question is the equation of the plane passing through minus 10, 5, 4 and perpendicular to the line joining the points 4, minus 1, 2 and minus 3, 2, 3 is. Okay, so according to the question, we have to find the equation of the plane, okay, which is passing through a point which is minus 10, 5, 4 and perpendicular to the line. A line is there which is perpendicular to the line joining the 2 points. The 2 points are 4, minus 1, 2 and another is minus 3, 2, 3. Okay, so we know the equation of the plane passing through point x1, y1, z1 and having direction ratio of normal A, B, C, having direction ratio of normal A, B, C is equal to A into x minus x1 plus B into y minus y1 plus C into z minus z1 is equal to 0. Okay, we know this equation. When a plane passing through a point and its direction ratio of normal ABC is given to you, then the equation of the plane is A into x minus x1, B into y minus y1, C into z minus z1 is equal to 0. So here a point is given to you which is through which the plane is passing, but we have to find out the direction ratio of normal for the plane. Direction ratio of normal for the plane. How will you find the direction ratio of normal for the plane? The plane is perpendicular to the line. The plane is perpendicular to the line. So we can find the direction ratio of the line passing through 2 point. So how can we find the direction ratio of the line passing through 2 point? We know now the direction ratio of line passing through 2 point. Just think, if you will think this point as x1 y1 z1 and this is your x2 y2 z2. Okay, so direction ratio of line passing through 2 point x1 y1 z1 and x2 y2 z2 is equal to x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 and z2 minus z1. Okay, this way we can find the direction ratio of the line passing through 2 point. So what is the direction? If you take the line is as L, if you think the line is as L, so direction ratio of the line, so what will be the direction ratio of line? Direction ratio of line L is equal to x2 minus x1. So x2 minus x1, what is your x1? x2 minus x1, so minus 3 minus 4, y2 minus y1, 2 minus 1, clear? y2 minus y1, so it will be your plus 1. Then z2 minus z1, 3 minus 1, clear? Sorry, 3 minus 2, z2 minus z1. So what we are getting here? Minus 7, 3 and another is 1. So direction ratio of line we got here. Okay, so direction ratio of line we got here minus 7, 3, 1. So direction ratio of the line is equal to the direction ratio of normal of plane. Yes or no? Direction ratio, if we will draw the normal for the plane, we will get here, this is the perpendicular, this line is also perpendicular to the plane. So direction ratio of normal of the plane is equal to the direction ratio of the line. Okay, direction ratio of normal of plane is equal to direction ratio of line. So direction ratio of normal of plane we will get here as minus 7, 3, 1. Okay, which is equal to ABC, clear? Which is equal to ABC. Now if you will just remove from your mind, this point is x1 y1 z1, just remove it from your mind, and x2 y2 z, just remove it and erase these things. Now we will find the equation of plane passing through the point x1 y1 z1. So in the place of x1 y1 z1 we got here minus 10, 5, 4, and having direction ratio of normal ABC, in the place of ABC we got here minus 7, 3, 1. Okay, direction ratio of normal of the plane. So similar way, according to this formula, if you will go equation of plane passing through minus 10, 5, 4. Okay, and having direction ratio of normal, direction ratio of normal minus 7, 3, 1 is, what will be the answer? Just put in this equation, just put the value of ABC and x1 y1 in the above in this equation. In this equation what we have already, just put it here. A, what is A? This is ABC. Okay, so what is A? A is minus 7 into x minus x1. X minus x1. What is x1? Now we will take this is as x1, y1, z1. So what is x1? Minus 10. So minus 10, it is equal to plus 10. Then plus b. B is your 3 into y minus y1. Y1 is your 5. Okay, plus c means 1 into z minus z1. What is your z1? Z1 is your 4. Okay, now solve. What will you get? Just solve. Minus 7x minus 70 plus 3y minus 15 plus z minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, again when we will solve, minus 7x plus 3y plus z minus 70 minus 15 minus 4, we will get minus 89 is equal to 0. Just take a minus common from all the elements. What will you get? 7x minus 3y minus z plus 89 is equal to 0. So which is your correct answer? 7x minus 3y minus z plus 89 is equal to 0. So this is your correct answer. Option D is your correct answer. Without calculating all of these things, we can directly got the answer option D. How? Just go to the question. The question is given to the equation of the plane passing through the point. The equation of the plane is passing through the point minus 10, 5, 4. So confirm this point satisfies the plane. The point is present on the plane. Yes or no? The point minus 10, 5, 4 is present on the plane. So if you will put the point in the plane equation, then it will satisfy. Then it will be satisfied. So just take the x value as minus 10, y value as the 5 and z value as the 4 and put in the given equations. In which equation we will get the answer is equal to 0. That is the equation of the plane. Just put here in the place of x just put minus 10, in the place of y just put 5 and in the place of z just put 4. What will you get? Minus 10, here we will get minus 15 minus 4, minus 10 minus 15 minus 4, which is equal to minus 29 something, minus 29 plus 79, it is equal to 0. No, so this equation is not correct. Similarly, check for B, check for C, check for D. In all case we will not get 0, but in case of D we will get 0. So option D is your correct answer. Without knowing all of these things, we can directly solve in this way. Just put the point in the given equations, in which case it will be satisfied. That is your answer, because the plane is passing through the point. The point is present on the plane, so it will satisfy the equation of plane. So just put it. If it will be satisfied, then it is your answer. If it is not satisfied, then it is not your answer. In this way we will check. If you will check all the 4 options, one option will be satisfied and that is your correct answer. Clear? Our next question is eccentricity of hyperbola x square minus y square is equal to a square. So equation of hyperbola is given to you. Equation of hyperbola is given to you, x square minus y square is equal to a square. But you know what is the general form of hyperbola? General form of equation of hyperbola is x square divided by y square by b square is equal to 1. So this is your general form of equation of hyperbola. If you convert this equation to general form, how can we convert? This is a general form. This is the general form of hyperbola. So we will convert to the general form equation of hyperbola according to your question. According to your question, equation of hyperbola is x square minus y square is equal to a square. But we know the general form of equation of hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. So just convert this equation to this form. So how can we convert? Just divide a square in both sides. Just divide a square in the both side. What will you get? X square by a square minus y square by a square is equal to a square by a square. So we will get x square by a square minus y square by a square is equal to 1. So now we get the general form. Now we will got the general form. Now we got the general form. So in the place of a, here a is given to you, but in the place of b we are getting a. In the place of a we are getting a, in the place of b also we are getting a. So here a is equal to a and b is also equal to a. If you will compare with the general form, what will you get? Here we will get a is equal to a and b is also equal to a. And we know in the case of hyperbola, what is the relation between a, b, c? What is the relation between a, b, c? In case of hyperbola, okay, in case of hyperbola, what is the relation a, b, c? What is the relation between a, b, c? b is equal to c square minus a square root over. So we can write it is as b square is equal to c square minus a square. So c square is equal to, you can write a square plus b square. Just take the a square from right hand side to the left hand side, we will get c square is equal to a square plus b square. So if we will put these values in the above equation, we will get c square is equal to a square plus a square, because b is equal to a. As b is equal to a, so in the place of b square we can write a square. So what will you get? C square is equal to 2a square. So c is equal to square root of 2a square. So you can write c is equal to root 2a. We got here c is equal to root 2a. Okay. Now we got c is equal to root 2a. Now we know the eccentricity formula for the hyperbola is eccentricity of hyperbola is equal to E is equal to C by A. It is the formula for the eccentricity of hyperbola. Just remember the eccentricity of hyperbola, the formula is E is equal to C by A. So just put eccentricity E is equal to, in the place of C, what we got here? Root 2A divided by A cancel, then what we are getting? Root 2. Okay, clear? So what is the eccentricity formula of hyperbola? C by A. Okay, eccentricity formula for the hyperbola is C by A. So what we are getting? Root 2. So which is the correct answer? Option D is the correct answer. Root 2 is the eccentricity of the hyperbola. X square minus y square is equal to a square. All are clear? Now we'll go for the next question. Okay. Question is, volume in cube cm of a cylinder with base radius 7 cm and height 20 cm is. So we know, if a cylinder is given to you, okay, a cylinder is given to you whose base radius is r, okay, and height is h, and for any three-dimensional figure, any three-dimensional figure, what is its volume? We know volume is equal to base area into height. Okay, for three-dimensional figure the volume is equal to base area into height. So we know the cylinder has a circular base, so what is will be its area? Pi r square, and height is h, so pi r square h. So this is the formula for the volume of a cylinder. Volume of a cylinder. Just remember, this is the formula for the volume of a cylinder. How you will get a? Because we know that for any three-dimensional figure the volume is equal to the base area into height, and as the cylinder has a circular base, the area of the circle is pi r square, and base area we got here pi r square into height is equal to h, so pi r square h. Now we'll go for our question. In the given question, the radius is given to you, r is equal to 7 cm and h is given to you 20 cm. So volume of cylinder is equal to pi r square h, which is equal to 22 by 7 into r square, means r is 7 into 7 r square, h is 20. So 7 cancel. What we will get? 22 into 7 into 2, so 7 into 2 14, so 22 into 14, 4 to 8, 4 into 2 8, 4 into 2 8, 1 into 2 2, 8, 8 to 10, 3080, 3080, and volume. So volume has a cube unit. So as here we are taking the cms, so we will get a cm cube or cube cm, cubic cm, 308 cm cube or cubic cm. Okay, so answer is 3080. The answer is 3080, option D. Okay, I am not written here the options, so option D is your correct answer, 3080. Clear? Our next question is given to you. What is the greatest value of sin A into cos A? What is the greatest value of sin A into cos A? When it is asked to you to find the greatest, okay, the greatest value of sin A into cos A. So when it is asked to you to find the greatest value of a function, then find the derivative of the function and equate with 0. Okay, in this way you can find the greatest value. So now we'll find if you take the function fx is equal to sin A into cos A. So derivative, okay, just take derivative of sin A cos A. Okay, just find the derivative of sin A cos A. Okay, what do you look at? So what do you get? First constant, derivative of the second one with respect to x, with respect to a we have to take here. Okay, fa. Okay. So first sin A constant, derivative of cos A. What we will get? We know d by d theta of sin theta. Derivative of sin theta is cos theta, and d by d theta of cos theta is equal to minus sin theta. We know these two formula. Okay, derivative of sin theta is cos theta is minus sin theta. So as the product of two things is given to you, so we have to go through the formula. Derivative of first constant, derivative of the second one, plus derivative of the first one plus second constant. So sin A constant, derivative of cos A is minus sin A, clear, plus cos A constant, derivative of sin A, sin theta is equal to cos theta, so cos A. Okay, so what will you get? Minus sin square A plus cos square A. We have to take it is equal to 0. So if you take it is equal to 0, what will you get? Sin square A is equal to cos square A is equal to 0. Move the sin square A to the right hand side. What will you get? Cos square A is equal to sin square A. So cos A is equal to sin A. So cos A is equal to sin A we will get. So for which value of A the cos A is equal to sin A? So if you will write down the table, we know 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, and the sine table, and it is the cos table. So sin 0 value 0, half, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2, 1. Opposite order we have to write 1, root 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, half, 0. This is the table we know. We all know the table like this. This is the sin cos table. So for which value of A the cos A is equal to sin A? For which value? We know for 45 degree. For 45 degree. 45 degree is 90 is the pi by 2 and it is your pi by 4. Okay, this is your pi by 4. So for pi by 4, so for pi by 4 cos pi by 4 is equal to sin pi by 4. So for A is equal to pi by 4, for A is equal to pi by 4, cos A is equal to sin A. Cos A is equal to sin A. So what is the value of for cos A? A is equal to pi by 4, cos A is equal to sin A. So now if you will go, what will you get? A value is pi by 4. Just now put it here. We are finding the greatest value for sin A into cos A. So sin A into cos A, what for A is equal to pi by 4 we will have the greatest value. So sin, in the place of A just put sin pi by 4. So we will get sin pi by 4 into cos pi by 4. So what is the value of sin pi by 4? I just erased here. So what do you get? Sin pi by 4 means sin 45. So value of sin 45 is 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2. Okay. We are finding the greatest value for sin A into cos A. So we are getting here A is equal to pi by 4. Just put in the equation. So we will get 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2, which is equal to half, and half is equal to 0.5. So the greatest value of sin A into cos A is 0.5. Okay. Just find the derivative and equate it with 0. From this relation we will find the value of A and now put the value of A. We will get the greatest value of sin A into cos A. Another method is also there. In another method we can do it. How? Just this is one method. Another method is like sin A into cos A. Okay, it is asked to you to find the greatest value for sin A into cos A. So we know sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta into cos theta. Okay, so similarly if you just write like this, 2 in half into 2 into sin A into cos A. Just write the above equation like above question like this, half into 2 into sin A into cos A. Okay, because if you will cancel 2 and 2, again we will get sin A into cos A. Then 2 into sin A into cos A, 2 sin theta into cos theta is equal to sin 2 theta. So we can write half into sin 2A. Okay, 2 sin A cos A is equal to sin 2A. So sin A into cos A is equal to half sin 2A, and sin 2A is sin theta. Sin 2A or 2 theta, so 2A is sin theta, and we know that the greatest value of sin theta is equal to 1. The maximum value of sin theta is 1. Okay, and minimum value is minus 1. We know the sin theta has the maximum value 1 and minimum value is minus 1. So sin 2a also. So maximum value of sin 2a, max value of sin theta, maximum value of sin theta is 1. So maximum value of sin 2a, in the theta place we got here 2a. Okay, so no worry. So maximum value of sin 2a is also 1. Maximum value of sin 2a is 1. So half into 1 we will get 0.5. Half into 1 is equal to 0.5. So option A is your correct answer. Clear? Option A is your correct answer. Half of 1, sin 2, maximum value of sin 2a is equal to 1. Its half is equal to 0.5. Okay. So greatest value of sin a into cos a is equal to 0.5. Clear? Our next question is, a number when divided by 357 gives the remainder 2, then the number is. So a number when divided by 357, it is a multiple of 357. So just find the LCM of 357. Okay, LCM of 3, 5 and 7. Okay, so what is the LCM of 357? All 357 don't have any common factor, so LCM of 357 is 3 into 5 into 7. What you will get? 3 into 5, 15, 15 into 7, 105. And in each and every case we are getting a remainder of 2. In each and every case we are getting a remainder of 2. So just add with 2, what will you get? 107. So option C is your correct answer. The number 107 when divided by 357 gives a remainder 2. Clear? Our next question is, in a class of 70 students, 10 students fail and their average marks is 26. If the total marks obtained by the entire class is 3500, then the average marks of the student those passed is. So 10 students failed and their average mark is 26. So write down average marks of 10 students is equal to 26. So total marks of 10 students, failed students. Okay, 10 students, those are failed. Okay, failed students. Average marks of 10 failed students is 26. So total marks of 10 failed students is equal to 26 into 10, which is 260. Clear? The total marks obtained by the entire class is 3500 and total marks obtained by the 10 failed students is 260. So the total marks obtained by past students, total mark obtained by the past students is equal to total mark of the entire class. What is it? Is 3500 minus total mark of the failed students. Okay, total mark of the failed students, it is also the failed students. Okay, 10 failed students, total marks of 10 failed students is 260. So total marks obtained by the past student, is equal to the total marks of the entire class minus total marks of the failed 10 students. So what will you get? 3500 minus 260 is equal to 3240. Okay, this is the total marks obtained by past student. So number of past student is equal to total student is 70 student total and 10 students failed. So number of past student is equal to 70 minus 10 is equal to 60. Number of past student is 60. Okay, so number of past student is 60 and total marks obtained by the past student is 3240. Now you can find the average. So average marks average mass obtained by pass students is equal to total mark 3000, total mark obtained by the pass student, not the total mark of the entire class. We will not take this. This is the total mark obtained by the entire class, but now we are finding the average marks first only for the pass students. So we will take the total marks obtained by the only by the pass student, which is 3240 divided by the number of pass students only, not the total student, only pass student. Only pass student is 60. So 0 0 cancel, 6 3 cancel 6 with 324. So what will you get? 6 into 5 30, 2 4 24, 6 4 24. So 54, we are getting the 54. So 54 is the correct answer. Option C is your correct answer. Clear? Our next question, if A set is given to you 1 2 3 4 and B set is given to you A B C, then the total number of relations between A and B. So a formula is there. If the cardinality or the number of elements of A is M and the cardinality of B, that means number of element of B is N, then the total number of relation between A and B, total number of relation between A and B is equal to 2 power m into n. Okay, this is the formula you have to remember. The total number of relation between A and B is 2 power m into n if the number of elements of A set is m and the number of element of B set is n. Okay, so here for this problem, the cardinality of A, the number of elements of A, how many number of elements are given to you? 1 2 3 4. The number of element of A is 4 and the number of element of B is 1 2 3. So cardinality of B is 3. So total number of relation between A and B, so total number of relation between A and B is equal to 2 power m, means the number of elements of A, that means 4 into number of elements of B, which is 3. So 4 into 3, which is equal to 12, 2 power 12. So option C is your correct answer. Option C is your correct answer. Clear? So our next question is, what is the sum of first 12 natural numbers? What is the sum of first 12 natural number? We know from the series and equation chapter, we know 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus ... when n number of sum of n natural numbers, sum of first n natural number, the formula is n into n plus 1 divided by 2. This is the formula we know. And here it is asked to you to find the sum of first 12 natural numbers. So here it is asked to you to find sum up to 12. It is asked to you to sum up to 12, the sum of the n natural numbers. Okay, so sum up to 12. So in the place of n, 12, up to 12 it is asked to you. Okay, so in the place of n, just put 12. 12 into 12 plus 1 divided by 2. So 12 into 13 divided by 2. 2 12 cancel 3. So 13 into 6, which is 78. 13 into 6, which is equal to 78. So what is the sum of first 12 natural number? It is equal to 78. The formula is, whenever it is asked to you sum of 15 natural number, sum of 28 natural numbers, what it may be, it is asked to you, just use the formula n into n plus 1 divided by 2. In the place of n, just write down the number of first 28 natural numbers it is asked to you. So in the place of n, just write 28. Similarly you can solve. Okay, the formula sum of first n natural number, the formula remember just like as the sum of first n natural number, sum of first n natural number, like sum of first n natural number is n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, using the same formula we will find the answer. Okay. Our next question is area of the circle with center at 1 2 and passing through point 4 6 is. So it is given to you, a circle is given to you whose center is at 1 2 and it is passing through the point 4 6. Okay, center of the circle is 1 2 and it is passing through the point 4 6. So you can find the distance between the 2 points. You can find the distance between these 2 points. Okay, if we will take it is as x1 y1 and it is as x2 y2, what is the distance between the 2 points? The distance between the 2 points we know it is equal to x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square root. So just put the distance between the 2 points, x2 minus x1, so 4 minus 1 whole square plus y2 minus y1, 6 minus 2 whole square root. So 4 minus 1 whole square is 3 square is equal to 9 plus 6 minus 2 is equal to 4 square is equal to 16. So 16 plus 9 is equal to 25, square root is equal to 5. So the distance between the 2 points is equal to 5. The distance between the 2 points. The one is center, another is a point on the periphery, another is the point on the circumference. So what is this distance indicates here? We know it is radius. What is radius? Radius is the distance between the center and any point which lies on the circumference of the circle. So the circle passing through this point, so that means this point is present on the circumference of the circle and this is your center. So distance between these 2 points is equal to the radius of the circle, equal to the radius of the circle. So what the distance we got here, that is equal to your radius. That is equal to your radius. What is radius? Radius is the distance between the center and the point which is present at the circumference, and this is the point through which circle passes. So this point is present on the circumference. So distance between the 2 points is equal to your radius. So radius we got here 5. Then area. So area of the circle, is equal to pi r square. So pi r is equal to 5. So 5 square is equal to 5 square is 25 pi. 25 5 and area has a unit, square unit. So square unit. Okay. So answer is your 25 square unit. 25 pi square unit. 25 pi square unit. Option A is your correct answer. Clear? So for today's class this much. The remaining question we will discuss in the next part. Okay. So thanks for your watching. Take care. Keep preparation. Bye bye. Have a nice day.